Very disappointing. We're a -4 turnover takeaway, and it's very difficult to win when you're -4. We did some good things on offense, and we did some things we just you can't. It's hard to overcome. And defensively, I thought we tackled poorly early. Some plays we'd worked on, we got better as the game progressed. But too many big plays. They did a good job of converting when they needed to convert. And did a good job with the clock at times. There's a big play at the end on the kicking game on the punt where guy was blocking and it went off his foot. They punted a short one, and we talk all the time about expanding your vision and seeing the returner and if he's coming towards you, abort what you're doing. But obviously we didn't get that done, So just we played real well. And I did a poor job getting everybody prepared. And so disappointing. Anybody got any questions?
Willie, this team had been so ball security-wise so good this year. Can you put a finger on what it was, or was it just the way things went?
There's a few guys. I think we fumbled it 5 times and lost 2. And that's 5 too many. And it's got to be the guy that's got the ball in his possession. You just got to do a great job with it. It's just, how it is. A lot of things I wish I worked on more. That's not one of them. We work on that, I think, more than anybody in America. Emphasize it more than anybody in America. Unfortunately, today it just didn't hold true for us.
Willie, right after you guys tied at 21-21, you had the ball right before half with a minute there. You executed a very similar drive against Arizona. What was the decision to go into half with it tied?
We were going to receive the kickoff for the second half, and felt like we had some momentum, and didn't want to do anything to give them an opportunity to score before half. So hindsight's 20/20, right? We should have gone for it, but we didn't. It was a deliberate attempt on us to put ourselves in the best position for the second half. 21-21, we're receiving it. We had some momentum going, and then unfortunately we made didn't do what we needed to do in the second half with that first possession.
Coach, in the back, it seemed like in the second half they changed their defensive strategy against Connor, maybe rushing him a little bit more. He had less time to get rid of the ball. Do you perceive it that way? And if so, what changes did they make?
They run a lot of stuff. They're really diverse defense, front, coverage, played some man. So we had some opportunities, but a lot of the throws were progression, read throws, and when you do that, you got to have some protection to be able to get you from your first to your second to your third read, and at times we had difficulty with that, or seeing where we needed to go, or whatever the case may be. But I don't think they change that much. They run a lot of stuff, so it's some things they had in their package.
Willie, what'd you see in the pick six? Connor had been so good.
He's open. He just got the ball out just a tad bit late. Get it open. Get it out just a little bit quicker. But like always, the quarterback gets too much credit when things go well, and too much blame when things don't go well. Come back for the ball a little bit too. When you see it floating like that.
Willie, the 246 rushing yards that they had had that big 4th down and 4 quarterback draw. Was it something that you guys felt like defensively?
Yeah, they did a good job. I'm sure it was they had double call on where they're going to throw it if they didn't feel good about the look. They got the look that they wanted and did a nice job. We're kind of loading up the outside, and they blocked out, and they had free gap inside, and good call by them. Good execution.
Coach, you guys were having a lot of success passing the ball. For majority of the game, they were doing so more running the ball. When the offenses are kind of having success on just one side of it like that, defensively, how does the game kind of change for you guys as you start to try to take away what is working for them?
Well, they threw the ball well enough that you had to, respect that. And at times we ran the ball well enough where they had to respect that as well. But, they did a good job, of running the football. And, there's, 4 or 5 times where we had an opportunity to tackle them and had leverage and we missed it, and it just, there were some times we didn't have the correct call, so, both. So, we just got to do better on. There's a lot of plays they ran that we worked on all week. A lot of the outside stretch with the back coming across the quarterback, the quick throws out on the perimeter. Where we got to have an edge player, and we had a tough time with some of that.
Your best offense today was displayed when you're down at least a touchdown. During the middle part of the game, there were a lot of opportunities to take the lead, tie game. Do you feel like that there might have been a different approach to play calling with a chance to take the lead?
I have to go back and look at it a little bit. I'm going to have to, look at it. But, but whatever we're doing, we got to, whatever we're calling, if we're on defense, we got to do a good job taking the ball away. We didn't do that. Offense, we've got to make sure we don't give the ball up. We didn't do that. And that makes any offense look pretty darn good.
Willie, coming in, Hubbard on West Virginia had 156 yards on the season. Today he had 108. Just what did you see out of him and that team that allowed him to be so
successful? Made us miss, a bunch. He had 3 or 4 runs where he just made us miss and turned a short gain into a big gain. So he's good back. He did a good job today. Ran hard and moved the pile at times where, I thought it was going to be a gain of 3 and all of a sudden it's a gain of 6. And we got to do a better job of low tackling on those particular plays. Sometimes the back has got momentum and he's run 5 yards and you're coming off a block and you've got no momentum. You got to hit the guy low. So you stop him there dead in his tracks instead of allowing him to, hit the back pushing the pile. So that was disappointing. That probably happened 7, 8 times to us today.
Willie, the 4th and 3 you converted with the 28-yard pass. Did you feel like that was a chance to grab momentum? And after you score there, what's going through your?
Yeah, we thought it was a game of momentum without question. But unfortunately, we had some self-inflicted wounds with turning the ball over, and that's uncharacteristic of us. And and like I said, I told the kids down there, -4, my win percentage over the years is not real good, and in this league, like I've said many times before, everybody's pretty good. In West Virginia, they're nothing with them. They're a good team, and I had an opportunity to win last week, and we knew they were a good team. But when you're -4, you're gonna have a tough time.
Willie, a few times in the game, and then on the sideline, it looked like Connor was having trouble gripping or something with his throwing hand. Was there something going on with his throwing hand?
I don't know. I don't think so. That's I think maybe that's happened to us once this season, maybe where the ball slipped out of his hands. So someone need to look at.
But nothing physical.
No, nothing physical, not that I'm aware of.
Is this sort of maybe like an eye opener for kind of the mistakes that could have been masked over due to the record that you guys have?
Yeah, we played pretty clean football throughout the season. And I think we're -2 and -4 in our 2 losses. And, we're just not. It's difficult for, the Vince Lombardi's Green Bay Packers to win when you do that. So it just, the other games we were either even or we were +1, +2, whatever the case may be. So, just it's difficult to win playing like that. Just is. I've been doing this a long time, and I think we've been +1 or better. We've won 91% of our games. We're in the minus category. It's about 30-something%. You still can win, but make it hard on yourself.
Willie, was that Kurt's son on the sideline with y'all today? Remy, was he on the sideline with y'all?
I don't know.
Okay.
I did not see. I know Remy, but I did not see him there.
Okay, I just thought I'd seen him. Okay, thank you.
All good. Thanks, everybody.
Thank y'all.
Dean, just throughout the week, you guys, whether it was the ranking or just how'd y'all feel preparation was, and how disappointing is it to have the outcome like this?
Super disappointing. Our coaches do a great job keeping us prepared, and this falls on the players. We got to do better as a team. I got to do better as a leader, because we have a great staff, and I feel like we let them down today.
Dean, you guys have been so good with turnovers throughout the season. What do you think the difference was today, and what did you see there?
Yeah, I think a couple of them were pretty wacky, just the bounce of the ball. But like I said, we just got to do a better job as players, emphasizing that, and protecting the ball, because that's the key to win.
In the back, Dean, after a slow start, you guys go down, 2 scores, and then second quarter, you kind of look like you find a stride, tie the game into halftime. Does it feel like this one got away, like you guys were kind of getting rolling, and then, second half, you were hoping to come out the way you finished and win this game?
Yeah, we got to do a better job, protecting the quarterback. We got to do a better job protecting the ball. We got to do a better job just all around. And I think that's what bit us in the heel, was just overall ball security and attention to detail, and we got to do better.
Looking back just 2 weeks ago with that Arizona performance where you had the offensive line clicking, all the run game going well, we haven't really seen that replicated since. Do you think there's a certain factor, or is it maybe the coverages that you're seeing from defense which are preventing that?
Yeah, West Virginia did a great job today loading out the box. You'll see a lot of guys on the line of scrimmage, a lot of pressure, and we knew that coming in. And if you looked at our pass game today, it was explosive. It's you got to realize you got to find the good things in losses just like wins, and I thought we did a really good job. The receivers came out and they played very well, but like I said, you just got to do a better job preparing throughout the week, and anything a team throws at us, we got to be ready for it.
Big picture, what do you feel or think that this loss does to the team? You guys just came off being ranked. I know you want to compete for the conference championship, but maybe even bigger aspirations, hopefully making it to the playoffs. What does a loss like this do to the team so far this season?
Yeah, hopefully it does nothing. And just as if we were winning this game, it does nothing as well. We got to keep doing what we do every week, win or loss. And that's the tricky thing about football or any sport. Wins and losses are just as poisonous. Can't let that seep in.
Dean, you pull within 31-28 late in the third there with the drive you convert a fourth down. Did you feel like you guys had momentum at that point, and you'd won so many close games? What do you think the difference was in this?
Yeah,
game?
for sure. I mean, I thought we were clicking, especially in the 2-minute drive, or it wasn't 2 minute, but we were in hurry up mode, and we marched the ball down the field and threw that touchdown to Amari. And we never feel like we're out of a game. Anytime we have the ball, whether we're down 100 or up 100, we feel like we have a chance to go score, and we did on that drive.
When you guys were down 14-0, just what was the adjustment to be made from the coaching staff?
No adjustments. Just that first drive, we shot ourselves in the foot. We just didn't have a good start, and that like I said, it falls on the players. We got to do a better job. Yeah.
All good. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Dean.
Appreciate it.
Control, how did just everything that's gone on lately and the start to the season? How disappointing is this loss today?
It's disappointing. I feel like knowing, we're a good team. We feel like we were better than that team. So just a loss is disappointing in general, honestly.
What did you guys just do defensively or didn't do defensively that allowed them to have such a good game resting the ball?
Truthfully, that just was just getting up on us early. Kind of took us a little minute to get our feet, in our cleats. First and second down, they did a good job running the ball. Kind of makes it hard to, call a defense. But, credit to them. Just starting faster, early 11 a.m. game. Not that we're not used to it, but just having to prepare every time, differently because, it is different from playing at a later game. So just coming out there and really just, getting your cleats ready early because, shoot, they came out with it.
A 10-point game in the fourth quarter, you guys still have a shot, and then West Virginia hits that fourth down, 34-yard QB draw. What's kind of your reaction to that play? What broke down there?
They had hit a play like that earlier in the game. We kind of tried to send some pressure at them. They did a good job. I didn't see the play. I was in man coverage, so I looked up. It's a touchdown. But again, credit to them.
Do anything to surprise you? With what they're doing on offense, especially early, that they change it up or
No. We knew they were going to run the ball 100%. So it wasn't a different game plan. Yeah.
What do you feel that maybe what adjustment they made at halftime coming out into the second half? In that second quarter, you looked like you guys really found a rhythm. You were clicking, tied the game, had momentum going, and then the game kind of changed in that third quarter.
We had a few, mistakes on our end as far as a team overall, which, sometimes getting the ball on the plus side of the field, having to defend that is tough. But, shoot, it is what it is. At the end of the day, I don't really know how to answer that question.
Going forward, how do you make sure this loss doesn't really impact your guys' mentality?
We have a lot of good leaders on the team, so I feel like it's not going to affect us a lot. We lost to a really good team, and now we've lost to a bad team. A team with not a good record, but just day by day we flush it. Wins, losses. We don't treat them any differently. So I don't think we'll have a tough time shaking back. Like I said, we have a lot of good leaders on this team.
What was Willie's message to you guys after this one, and what did you guys talk about as a group?
Yeah, pretty much what I just said about flushing it. We're gonna come up here tomorrow, watch the film, and we're gonna flush it and get ready for our next opponent. Appreciate y'all.